What's up, y'all? Today's video is fuck. I have so many wrinkles in this fucking shirt.
Sorry.
Today's video is me ironing my fucking shirt. Anyway, we gotta. I was looking up information news and stuff like that, and there was this thing that was going around on Twitter about boycotting Lisa Bonet for a extremely old interview that she did on Donahue about not vaccinating Zoe Kravitz. You know, when she had her. If you can pull up a video of
Okay.
Troy CETV, he explains who she is a little bit better than I can. And we're not going to show the whole
Some
video.
views may
so
find this
please go there
disturbing.
and,
Viewer discretion
check
is
him out.
advised.
Hi, my loves. It's Destin Schweiz, and you're watching Schweiz TV. So today's video, I really wanted to get on here, and I wanted to specifically address Lisa Bonet in this video that's recently gone viral, that's resurfaced from 30 years ago. So as we all know, Lisa Bonet got her start on The Cosby Show when she was 16 years old back in 1984. That show pretty much made her career. She was known for being the beautiful girl with the beautiful locks. She was just gorgeous. Everyone loved her. And of course, as time went on in the late 80s, she eventually left the show and ventured off to do A Different World, which of course ended horribly because she was only on for one season, and that led to her being fired from the show because she ended up getting pregnant with her now daughter, Zoe Kravitz. And she also got married with Lenny Kravitz. And of course, we all know Bill Cosby wasn't fond of that, and he got her ass fired off the show, took her off the show, and demanded that she return to the original series, The Bill Cosby Show. For one, Bill Cosby wasn't happy with her getting pregnant at 20 years old, right when she starts a new show.
You remember the reason?
Two, Bill Cosby wanted her to remain being this good.
So when she got off the Bill Cosby Show, she went off to college. That's what it was.
Yeah, that was what Different World was all about. Unless you're saying in real life, that's what happened with her.
Nah, like on the show. Like I remember that was the excuse on the show why she wasn't on there anymore. She went off to college, and I don't even know if like they even explained that. It was just like she's gone and she's at college. So then when Different World happened. I didn't know if Different World happened after Bill Cosby Show. Like it started happening. Like I don't know if they ran congruently. That's what I'm trying to say, but I'm not sure. They probably did.
Yeah, they might have did. I know that was all about that college life and Dwayne Wade and the other light skinned girl, which was his girlfriend in the show, and the other light skinned guy.
But that is perfect though. Just the fact that like he took her off the show for those reasons, and then there so happened to be another show about college life. So it's just kind of like, hey, shit, it works out.
Yeah, like what? But I mean, I understand he's Bill Cosby and that was his baby and everything was the show, but like, who cares who she gets pregnant by? Like, what the fuck? That's her business. That's her life.
He was trying to have a certain view and look of the show, and everyone had to play that part in real life too, because you don't want to be in media and stuff and give a bad name. It's the same reason why they cancel fucking Marvel actors and actresses who have opinions about political issues and stuff while they are playing in their TV shows and movies. They just don't want that to be seen a certain way.
I mean, I get that, but living your life and let's say, because social media wasn't a thing back then, you know.
Yeah, well, social media wasn't, but Extra was. You know what I mean? Like TV shows that showcase that kind of stuff. Yeah, tabloids.
Yeah, but that's like if me and you were on the same show. Hey, Jolly, I don't want you to be banging chicks. I don't want you to have sex because that's not what your character does in the show. It's like, no, that's real life versus a TV show. So screw Cosby. Okay. Screw what he thinks. Like, I'm going to live my life. I don't give a damn who you are. And
yeah, same thing with like Marvel and all those other ones, right? But I mean, that's what entertainment life is.
No, that's different. I would say that's different. I would say it's different only because that's them showcasing their opinions, whether they're right or wrong. That I'm not debating for. But you're not telling Marvel to be, hey, look, you can't have kids. I mean, we haven't gotten there yet. I mean, maybe it might get there in the future, but. Like, I can understand them, like, looking a certain way, but...
It's not in their contract to where it's like, look, you can't have this opinion. You can't express this opinion publicly. It's not
I bet you it probably is. I bet you it probably
is now. But that's what I'm saying. It's the exact same thing. When you got an executive saying, look, we don't want you having an opinion about certain things because we don't want you making our product looking bad. That's the exact same thing. It's just on a smaller scale.
Yeah, but with your kids, though?
Don't matter. It's the opinion of an executive. Whether that's right or wrong, whether it's Bill Cosby or some white guy that runs runs Marvel. You know what I mean? It's the exact same thing.
Yeah, I couldn't be an actor.
Good girl, because she was getting married to a rock star. He didn't really agree with who she was marrying. And to put the icing on the cake, we all know Lisa Bonet did that controversial film, Angel's Heart. Considering Lisa Bonet had that good girl, girl next door image, a lot of people weren't very happy with her shift in the way she was acting. Now, Lisa Bonet has always been very spiritual and vocal as she has aged throughout Hollywood, but she pretty much credits her daughter and her marriage for why she became even more spiritual. And a lot of times when you have children, you start to really realize the world around you and how much of an evil and scary place it truly is. So this video has resurfaced and went viral of Lisa Bonet because 30 years ago, Lisa Bonet went onto the Phil Donahue show to vent and give her opinion about the damn Vaselines. Now, we all know the Vaselines have been a topic of discussion because...
Vaseline, okay. Now I'm curious.
It's not about Vaseline. He's just saying it so he doesn't say the word vaccine. Okay. Yeah, so now that we all know who Lisa Bonet is, we can just look at the original video of the discussion of vaccines.
All right.
That's why I'm here, to share what information I've learned.
Yeah. Now tell me, Lisa, just we gotta. If they want to ask you about it, and they will, it's legal, but we don't want to have too many subjects in the air or get confused. You're not scared you didn't vaccinate your baby?
I'm scared, and I'm scared to vaccinate her, which is why I didn't vaccinate her in the first place, and which led me to read about the warnings that are out there. And what I've learned are there warnings about introducing these alien microorganisms into our children's blood, and the long-term effects, which could be trivial, or they could be quite hazardous, and they could be just allergies or asthma or sleep disorders, or they could be cancer, leukemia, multiple sclerosis, sudden infant death syndrome. It's very scary and it's very serious, and I think because I felt wrong doing it, that's why I didn't do it. And we have to think twice. Why are our children getting these diseases?
And what is the biochemical legacy of the vaccination? How long does it last, and what might it be its effect? Yeah. You're putting something into your baby's bloodstream. Everybody ought to think about that twice.
We get this official stamp, and someone's designated to give us this information, which isn't really known about.
It looks like the best friend from
no one knew
show
that
with
the pill in its original state, for women, birth
Topanga.
This is a big one.
Boy Meets World.
To health.
Yeah, he looks like the best friend in that a little bit.
Really? Lurch? He kind of looks like Zach. Not Zach. The main guy. The blonde hair guy.
Well, yeah, the main guy. The main guy had brown hair. And then Boy Meets World.
I think you're yeah, you're right. You talking about the little curly hair guy?
Yeah, like the dumb guy on the show.
Yeah, nah. I don't know. I don't know about that. But anyway, like go back to like what he was talking about. I think he said something about the designated people of talking about vaccines or something.
Biochemical legacy of the vaccination. How long does it last, and what might it be its effect? Yeah. You're putting something into your baby's bloodstream. Everybody ought to think about that twice.
We get this official stamp, and someone's designated to give us this information, which isn't really known about or researched, and we find out the hard way, No one knew that, the pill in its original state, for women, birth control, I don't want to get into this is a big one, but was so detrimental to health and the hormonal imbalance and all of the above. Let's bring out John Robbins. He's all this stuff.
All right.
But you should be able to believe these people that are telling us what is good for us. Why? Because they're our brother man, yet that's not the case.
Yeah.
Well, look, what I see is that a new era is coming. I think you might call it the 90s era, but it's a new era for the planet. Which thinking is shifting from profit and seeing success as how much money you have in the bank, and into seeing success as what a difference you make with other people and with yourself. I think that's a shift that is happening.
He actually wasn't wrong, but at the same time.
We'll give you a chance, and we will meet John Robbins in a moment. Are you there, caller? Hi.
Yes, hi.
Pause real quick.
My question is for Lisa.
Yep.
And
So far, I'm really digging this whole like round table thing. Like, nobody in the audience is like fucking yelling out or anything like that or being disrespectful. Everyone there is listening to each other. I like that general discussion, especially where she's talking about how she's afraid of the vaccines, and she's talking about how she researched the studies, and she's actually bringing forth information with other diseases that could be related to, that kind of stuff, instead of saying microchips and fucking aliens and bullshit like that. You know what I mean? It's like, it's that's in the same realm of
lends
like
credibility to what she's talking about.
Exactly. Because I got my vaccination recently, my first shot recently, and I was totally with that. I had that same kind of mindset and that same feeling, that same energy, that same reading the same information. And that's what I was afraid of. Like, I was afraid of that part, not the part of fucking microchips or the government.
Yeah.
It was the idea of, I don't know what I'm getting. The whole MRA type shit, like, what's going on here? And it came out so quick, and there's no real studies to show you like what's going to happen 6 months from now and that kind of stuff. Yeah, we do see that people are dying now, and that there's information about, hey, this is what's happening now, and this can prevent it, but there's no information about,
no long-term studies to know what it's going to do to you 20 years from now or whatever.
Not to mention when people do get the vaccination, like the people that get it and end up dying, it's not reported that it's the vaccination that killed them if they die 2 weeks later. It's like, is there no, they had a heart condition, or they had this, or they had something like that's not being told to anybody. And that does happen when, you have nurses saying, well, it happened, and there's a reason why immune compromised people are not supposed to get it. So why are they not supposed to get it? If they're immunocompromised, like, wouldn't they be like the first people to get it if it's safe? No, because it could probably kill them.
Yeah, because they have a compromised immune system. You're essentially making people sick on purpose so that they can't get sicker if they ever get it in the wild, essentially. So so you're still giving diseases to people who can't take them.
Exactly. So if someone dies, it's like, okay, well, it wasn't the vaccine's fault. Really? And I say all that, and I ended up taking it anyway. Well, mostly because it's one of the like lesser of two evils. It's like, well, either die by this or die by that, or possibly die by that. You know what I'm saying? That's just how that goes.
Yeah. Everybody has to weigh their options. I did the same thing. I don't fucking trust the government, as far as I can throw them. Like, I'm expecting everybody to lie to me because that's what life is all about. I don't trust nobody, especially the government. But at the same thing, I have to think, well, it's like, okay, I got an elderly relative living at home. I know I can probably get COVID, and for the most part, I have a pretty decent immune system. I don't ever get sick and shit like that. I don't get the flu. I've never had the fucking flu. So it's one of those things where it's like, but yeah, if I do get this shit, it could kill me. That's the difference. Is you don't know once you got, once you're that sick. It's like most people survive, but at the end of the day, people are dying of this shit. A lot of people. So you have to weigh your options, and you have to make that decision accordingly. Like, I don't see why they're dragging up this old video. Maybe you'll explain, why they're dragging it up, or maybe they'll get into it. But if she's just explaining, oh, I don't want to get vaccinated because of A, B, and C, that's her right to do that. But she got to go with the consequences and repercussions of that choice. Like, it's just like anything else. Like what I was going to say before we started, and you told me to save it for the video. But like all those parents and stuff who want their kids to go back to school, and they're like, no, if you don't have no vaccinations, you know, I think both sides are in there, right? The families, if you don't want to vaccinate your kids, that's 100% understandable. They're your kids. You don't want to do that. But at the same time, the school is like, hey, look, you can't make other kids unsafe. So it's just like anything else. If they have to, when kids go to school, you got to get your measles shot, the flu shot, and all those rest of those baby shots that you're supposed to get before you can attend school. So you can't be like, oh, I don't want to vaccinate my kid, but have them in public school. It's like, fucking no. You make that your choice, then you homeschool your kid or put him in an online school or do something. But he ain't coming. He ain't going to school here. It's like you have to. If you don't want to be vaccinated, that you have to be, do those other options. That's on you. So both sides, like there is no right or wrong in it, but I mean, as long as like my biggest thing with this whole vaccination thing is a lot of people are spreading misinformation about it.
Yeah.
And that's where it's like, you need to read the information for yourself, find out the side effects, the benefits, all of that shit, and then just make your decision whether you want to take it or not. And what's your risk level. If you think you can go throughout the world and be fine without getting it, then it's your life to make that risk with.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
But still respect the opinions of others when if you out in public and stay 6 feet away from people or 6 feet or more feet away from people and respect that it's okay for them to wear their mask and you choose not to wear yours. And then also respect the private businesses out there that don't want you in their place of business. That's just how that goes. Complaining about something and trying to force other people to have the same opinion of you is two different things. Complain all you want, but when you start treading on, the freedoms of other people's
freedoms and beliefs and stuff, that's
when it's a fucking problem. So this got brought up basically because it ties in with what's going on now with the whole anti-vaccine movement and stuff like that. Where on Twitter, I see like some tweets here and there. It's like y'all listen to Lisa Bonet and a random claim about alien organisms instead of all the world's top doctors and scientists. There's a reason why we're still in the stupid pandemic. Now, here's the thing: when she said alien organism,
we would be in a pandemic regardless. That don't.
Yeah. When she said alien organism, that doesn't mean space aliens. It means
that's not what she said.
It means something that we don't know about. That
it's the average person doesn't know about.
Yeah, it's alien in nature. It's not like fucking real alien. So like that kind of thought that's what pisses me off is that people take stuff too literally with their own like limited belief in what a certain word or certain statement means. Without
the word alien means many things, not just space aliens.
Yeah, and someone else said, I won't be canceling her. People have to realize not everyone on the planet will agree with what they believe. They have proven over and over again how dangerous they really are. At least 85% of people are followers. My personal opinion. Someone else say they're using this to eat her up right now. They boycotting her and she ain't even been working. Like, this is so old, fam. Someone else says she is entitled to her opinion. I will be canceling her. Someone else's, it's sad how we are no longer allowed to have our own opinion or different opinions about anything anymore, especially if it doesn't fit a certain narrative. Someone else, why are people digging up videos from the 1600s for controversy?
Because ain't nothing else to talk about on the internet. That's
She's so right. Parents need to invest more time in their children, nutrition and diet, and it is important.
Yeah, they do.
I'll save them from a lot of health and mental issues later on in life. We should be concerned about what we are putting into our and our kids' bodies in all aspects, not just from getting vaccinated. So I doubt Lisa cares about anyone disagreeing with her interviews or her choice. God dang, that's small. The fuck? Her choices she been an individual her whole life. It's crazy that people try to vilify people who choose not to inject the latest lab project like it'll affect them personally. God dang, that fucking sentence structure was horrible. And the writing was small as shit. I was like, what the fuck? I couldn't even zoom in on this shit. God, all that. All of that. God, man, let's keep the video going.
All right, let me jump back. I had put it on her because you was talking about her.
Stamp and someone's designated to give us this information, which isn't really known about or researched, and we find out the hard way,
Oh wait,
no
who was
one
that?
knew that, the pill in its original state, for
yeah,
women.
We got
into this
I think that was that Raul Julia on here.
What difference you make with other people and with yourself.
But yeah, they're not wrong, and she's not wrong.
That is happening.
Oh my bad. Pause it one more time. That guy, when you said that shift happening between like money and the idea of like people and like caring about people and stuff like that. I love that idea. I just I wonder what his opinion is now. I don't know if he's alive or not. Like what his opinion is now.
Raul Julia? No, he been dead.
Oh damn.
Yeah, he died right after he made that Street Fighter movie.
Oh, that's.
But this can't be. Hold on, that may not be him though, because Raul Julia was Bison in Street Fighter, so he died after that. So if this is like 95, 96, that's not him.
That's somebody else.
He's another actor though. Like I do recognize his face, Mr. What's that? Yeah, he's from something else, but I forget.
Oh, okay. And so his point, that whole shift and thing like that. It's like I don't think from there nothing shifted, just stuff branched off. It's like no one really changed, but well, maybe people did change and they had that shift personally, but now it's running congruent where you have everything about money and the other side, everything about people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like now it's going hand in hand instead of like trust the government no matter what. Now it's like trust the government, but also, there's this idea of, well, family, friends, people for people. And when I say government, I'm saying corporations too, where it's just like money when it comes to like vaccines and medicine and shit like that.
Yeah.
But you still have that other side where it's just like, no, people first too. So like nothing really shifted, like flip like 180, but I feel like there is a congruent, like running side by side where both sides have a lot of merit to it.
Yeah, and both sides can straight up lie to you or tell you misinformation. Like, I don't trust the government. I trust the government to lie to me. Same thing with corporations. They're in the business to make money. So you can't trust them. But let's say if you go the other side, you can't trust people either. Because if I get sick and go to a homeopathic doctor and they say, oh yeah, rub my wooden table 9 times and it'll cure you, the fuck out of here. No, it won't. So it's you have to trust science to a degree because it's proven.
I got a bullet hole in my stomach. Rub your neck with aloe vera. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like you can't trust that either. So it's like you have to find that balance and figure out shit for yourself.
Let me just
that's gonna bug me because I know that guy's face. I watched something with him in it when I was a kid.
Yes, hi. My question is for Lisa, and you mentioned your baby and that you feed her, all of those things. My son is 10 months old. That does not satisfy his appetite. I give him broccoli, organic baby food even, and I find that I have to give him chicken. We don't eat meat, but he needs more. And what could I feed him?
Are you still nursing?
No.
Well,
that wasn't enough for him. I've tried to breastfeed him, and he just, he needed more.
Can he talk? Did he tell you?
How old is your baby?
10 months. More than the milk I could give him, though. I knew he was hungry.
Yeah.
Well, I know Zoe's very picky. She still nurses, and she's satisfied with that. And also, like I said, I supplement her diet with other things, that I told you. And I guess you just have to really experiment.
So Zoe will not have fish or chicken.
No, they're poisonous. No, they're not. It's not even if you get organic chickens. Our oceans are polluted. And
well, the fish that's eating the chicken has that.
Yeah, she's not wrong.
We do have an awful lot of additives.
You can't believe something is organic just because it says the word organic
on our program.
Organic doesn't mean anything.
So everything that goes out, Drano, all that is in the thing.
And we're continuing to use styrofoam. And how many?
But there's hope. There is hope.
We believe you, River. We believe you.
One thing that is important, I believe, is not to make these guys that are polluting the oceans or the guys
that are guy from somewhere back in the day.
Not to make them villains,
not,
but include them in the purpose. Include them that they can actually contribute positively You know what I'm saying? Not to
I fucking love that guy.
separate sides and say these are the bad guys, we're the good
Yeah,
guys.
I know I've seen him in some, almost like Mr. Belvedere or some shit.
It's a matter of
well, they said his name. He's a doctor.
And that's very important, and that's what's going to make it
Yeah,
work.
I can barely hear it,
When
so I can hear some of the stuff they say if they get loud. But
that they can actually make a difference and contribute within their own power, their own businesses, and perhaps instead of growing cattle, they can grow oranges, or they can grow melons, or they can grow something. You know what I'm saying? It's not a matter of villains and good guys. It's a matter of you and me. Now this is the 90s. That's what this is about.
Very good.
Pause it. Man, I wish that was still the fucking sentiment. You know what I mean? Like, I wish that sentiment was a lot broader than it is now. That's like great, but you can't bring that shit to Texas. Like, you can't. You can't tell a cattle rancher like, yo, start growing oranges. You know, we'll even supplement your cash. Fuck that. Texas is all about eating that meat. Man, you know, they had a giant ass boycott, was it Burger King when they came out with that vegan patty or whatever? Man,
the Impossible Burger.
Bro, people was mad as shit. Like, mad as shit. They're taking away our meat. Blah, blah, blah. Fox News had like this big ass segment on how it's more like unhealthier than actual beef. Oh my good lord. But it's only because the beef industry, multi-billion-dollar industry, you're not going to supplement that with oranges. That's on the individual person.
Yeah, and then you have on top of that everybody who, let's say, likes eating meat. They're going to be all on, you know, the companies whenever they push out, you know, whatever they say, whether it be propaganda, marketing, or whatever. And it's like, yeah, I mean, you can't expect people to not fight back. Number one, people don't like change. That's human nature. So, I mean, and meat fucking tastes good. So it's like, unless they see the problems for themselves, or let's say have a family member who ate meat all their life, and then you discover, oh yeah, meat kills you when you're 40. It's like, you know, then it's like, okay, then you understand, like, oh, I should have been listening to all those people and stuff telling me not to do that or whatever. But I think probably, let's say a couple 100 years from now, 200 or 300 years from now, they're going to look back on us and say, why were they doing all this shit that kills them? Just the same way we look back at like the early 1900s or like the Civil War era and stuff like that.
Like crazy.
Yeah. Cigarettes are good for you. And everybody's like, no, the fuck they not, you know, but they don't think they stupid. We're doing the same shit. And the problem is that everybody knows what they should be doing. Yeah. But people don't care.
Until they have to do it.
Exactly. And by then it's too late when it comes to, let's say, stuff in the body. Like they can, like they'll probably discover that, oh yeah, all the stuff we eat throughout our life, sugar, meat, and all the stuff that vegan people don't eat, it may be causing all the medical problems later on in life. But until that becomes the main popular argument, none of that's going to change. It's people are still going to eat meat, and even once they prove it, it'll be like those people who still smoke, and they'll be like, oh, I got cancer, I don't give a fuck, it's going to kill me anyway, let me keep doing it. And it's people who eat meat and do all this stuff and getting vaccinated. It's like, it's going to just continue. So
that part about, the caller talking about how her baby can't eat any, still needs more. So she gives her like chicken, like meat and stuff like that.
That's how I believe that when she was talking about that.
Yeah. That's that's really iffy because baby food version of chicken has only been around so long. You know, what did they do before that? You know,
babies were just fine.
Yeah. Breastfed for let me see, what did I see? I think I saw people were breastfeeding up to like 2 years old or something like that. It was some weird shit like that. It was like, well, I wouldn't say weird. I'm not gonna say weird, but what I mean, like the age was a lot older than was a lot older than what women would think, you know, would be, you know, appropriate age to wean it off and stuff like that. So you can still do that. And the human body doesn't need meat, you know, like vegans and even when you're going keto doesn't mean that you just eat a bunch of meat. So it's like you can still eat a bunch of other stuff, beans, all kind of other stuff that babies can actually eat and, you know, survive off of.
You just need protein.
Yeah. At that point, it's like, like what you said, experiment. You know, it's your baby. You know, you can't go off of everybody else's, like, how did you do that?
Opinion.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Experiment with your baby. What can a baby eat that's not meat, you know? There's tons of shit out there.
Yeah, especially nowadays. Back then, I mean, you didn't have no internet, so it's like you were relying on doctors, word of mouth, and
going to the store and seeing what they actually had up there. So yeah, that does make sense. But like you said, I mean, experimentation. If you ain't got nobody to teach you, fucking find out.
Is what it is, yeah.
You remind me, and I know you'll be flattered, of Archbishop Romero.
Oh,
the man that you played in a film.
That was actor.
The heroes.
Right.
Yeah. I know I'm right. It's like I know I've seen him in something as a kid, like a TV show or a movie or something. I know his face. I just don't remember what he's from.
I do
I'm gonna look it up though.
That the three people on your stage right now have a good cause. And aside from Raul, I think that both Lisa and River don't.
Oh yeah, there's Raul, Julia. Yeah, they just mentioned Raul. Okay. So yeah, that is.
Might if they gave a more presentable appearance.
Well,
I thought he died right after Street Fighter.
We gotta get
gave him more
time
something.
for River and maybe some
presentable appearance.
well,
right now have a good cause. And aside from Raul, I think that both Lisa and River don't give an appearance, so people might not take them as seriously as they might if they gave a more presentable appearance.
Well,
that makes sense.
We gotta get a certain time.
You have to look like you're respectable. You can't just. What was he talking about? That guy.
You're gonna let nutrition and health and love, like you're gonna hold yourself back from life because of the way we're. Our appearance.
It's not about dress code,
you
know.
Yeah, these are.
Take your bra to your grandmother.
All right. That was the last little bit.
Okay,
but yeah. Why are they boycotting her for saying that? She's just giving her opinion on it.
Well, because somebody found the video and then they just talked about it. But the thing is like that's what cancel culture is. I mean, cancel culture is, bro. It's like they look at stuff like this and like that, and it's years ago. They don't know her actual opinion now. You know, and they just they look at that and they say, "Oh, look at this and her ideas and shit like that. This is who she is as a person." They take someone's words as a figment of their identity as who they are as a whole, and then they just fucking shit on it, you know, and they just try to cancel it, even if it's something that happened 20 years ago. Doesn't make any fucking sense. Just like people are gonna look back at this, like if either one of us ever become famous, somebody will look back at this video and be like, "Look at them." You know, with their fucking radical opinions about, you know, fucking vaccination when everyone should get vaccinated no matter what. And if you have any other ideas, otherwise, you're not a fucking scientist, you're not a doctor, blah, blah, blah. You know, that kind of bullshit. It's the same thing. You know, and this, to me, that discredits cancel culture even more when you are taking something that happened way back then. And you're bringing it forth today just to say, hey, this is wrong.
Yeah.
And it's still an unpopular opinion. You know, it's not like she touched a kid. You know what I mean? It's not the same thing. This is her opinion of how life is, you know, or how her life is in general. Why does that matter? She's not telling people, say, hey, you shouldn't do that. She's saying, I don't do that. You know, there's
how does her opinion isn't going to affect how you live your life in any kind of way? Yeah. And I doubt that people are looking at this show that was 30-some years ago and be like, oh, she said this. I'm going to follow what she says 30 years ago. It's like, fucking no, ain't nobody doing that. No. You know, and even if she did say that, let's say if she was on Twitter saying, oh, anti-vax this, anti-vax that, don't get vaccinated. If she was just saying all of that stuff and somebody chooses to believe in what she says, then that's on them.
Yeah.
They're, you know, it's like, hey, you can't. I mean, it's going to be like that guy. So like you, what was it? You or somebody said, you was reading something. The comment where you were reading it and the guy said it was like 85% of something people in the world are followers. He was exactly right with that shit. Because people are just going to believe what anybody tells them. You know, and that's just the way the world
they
is.
have proven over and over again how dangerous they are. They really are. At least 85% of people are followers. Yeah.
That's not her fault. So she shouldn't have an opinion because people are following what she says?
No.
No, that's stupid. So that's just, hey, be mad at the human race. Stop raising your kids to be stupid, YouTube. Maybe we wouldn't have this problem. Now,
when I first saw this, I didn't really, understand where people were coming from with that sentiment. I thought that they were coming at it to the point where it's like, how can you not protect your baby? I thought that's what it was. But then at that point, I had it in my mind where it's like, well, the same could be said about pro-choice, right? Because if you choose to not vaccinate your baby when it comes out your womb, how is that any different than choosing not to even have your baby in the first place after conception? So it's like, it's still,
you can't have one and then not have the other. If you're taking away somebody's right to their opinion or their choice, then that's wrong to begin with too.
Yeah, what it all boils down to, that's her body, her child, her opinion, her choice. When that child comes of age, 18 or whatever, then they can choose to do whatever they want. Yeah, I will say this though: if I ever have children, I'm gonna make sure that motherfucker catches chickenpox. I'm just like, that's one thing that that I've seen repeatedly.
So since you had to suffer, they got to suffer. They got to go through.
No. Well, first off, I know how to deal with chickenpox now. You know what I mean? It's like as a kid, you don't. Especially if your parents don't know what to do about it.
Yeah.
But the shingles or whatever is a disease that happens later on in life. If you catch chickenpox, in your later
stages, you have the potential to get shingles. Yeah.
And it's a hell of a lot worse. Like it's fucking bad. I wouldn't want that shit. So yeah. I mean, you either gonna get the vaccination for chickenpox, or we gonna have that chickenpox party. You know what I mean? We're gonna call up PTA style. Hey, popcorn and movies at the house. Let's go catch this shit. I think that's having a child be vaccinated. I think that is a serious issue where it's like, well, I know I don't want this for me.
Yeah.
But it's the idea of what's the possible detriment to a child as they grow older without a vaccination?
Yeah.
Like that's the thing that concerns me.
Yeah, and since the child can't make its own choice, you have to be the one to make the choices for it. And it's like, what do you do in that situation? Do you like?
Because I know if it were me, what's right for me, but that's another human being. That's another life.
Yeah, like if it were me and I had to make that choice, it's with COVID. I'm not really sure. I mean, I would probably vaccinate my kid for that, but it's one of those things where it's like with anything, it's like, is it right to do that, or would I just raise the kid unvaccinated and just let him make his own choice once he turns 18, or even younger than that, after I fully explain the issue to him and weigh the options, to do that. But it depends on the family and the parent. Like I have a friend of a friend. I kid you not. Was it like 3 weeks ago? Well, maybe mid August. We were all playing some game on Discord and on Steam. Kid you not. I've known this kid. Like I wouldn't say I'm super friends with him, but he's been in, let's say, this. I mean, if you want to call it a gamer group, we've been playing each other since Halo 3. Right. That's how long. We've all known each other. And when we were playing last month, I guess him and his family, he must live with his parents or something. And his parents or his dad was like, you either got to get vaccinated or get out. So his dad was like pushing that choice because he didn't believe in getting vaccinated, but the dad, I guess, did. And he was like, you either got to do that or leave. I was like, that's fucked up, because being a parent, I wouldn't put that kind of decision that way to my kid. That's not how you do that.
How old was the kid?
I'm assuming 20 something, probably a little bit younger than us.
20 something.
Unless the dad was like using that as a way of getting him out the house to get him his own shit.
Yeah, I mean, here's the issue. His house, his rules. That's
the problem. You got to go with that. Yep, because it's not yours. So
that's what it is. Like, back in high school, I remember my ex used to try to push me so hard to like in high school, when you gonna have your own place, so we can move in and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, I'm working on it. You know what I'm saying?
What you mean we?
I'm in high school. Like I'm in high school. You know what I'm saying? Like getting like working while I'm in high school. So it come to find out, it was just like I found out like how bad she had it at home. But then I also found out that she just didn't like to follow rules. You know what I'm saying? Like when it was her turn to wash dishes or clean the bathroom, blah blah blah, and her parents were attentive about like how to do certain things. And it's just
she just didn't want to do it.
Just fucking do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like deal with it. Because you're still there. You know what I mean? It's like you have to do this until you get out.
Yeah.
But it's like, don't fucking wait on me. If you want to get out, get out. But
yeah,
you know, that's on you. At that point, like I know the ultimatum is fucked up, you know, but
it's their house. Yeah,
it's their house.
There's
you know?
millions of people in that kind of situation. That's the fucked up part. But you know, get your own. But then, I make jokes with my dad all the time. He'd be like, "This kitchen ain't clean," or this is that, or whatever. He'd be like, "I can do that. It's my house." Then he'd laugh and he's like, "I can, like, you know." And it's like we always have a thing about him. I always make fun of him for it. Like even though if my dad told me to wash dishes, right? I do it, but I'm like, I can do it on my schedule. It's my house. It don't have to get done. And he'd just be like, "Man, fuck you." I'm like, yeah.
Because you can say about it. It's like, yeah, fuck it. It's his house. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, you know. But I love my dad anyway for, you know, cussing me out. It's like, it's you know, that's our family bond. Like my dad's that kind of person. And like, and if you come live with me, you'll see. It's one of those things where like he can call my brother right now and he hasn't talked to him in, let's say, like 6 months or whatever. He will get that cussed out argument. Why the fuck you ain't call me? Blah, 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 blah. You know, it's like, you know, he gonna get cussed out about something. Because if he just call you and just, hey son, how you doing? It's like,
something's
like,
wrong.
Right? Then, like, is that cancer about to take you out? Like, what's going on?
Oh,
Like what you calling me for? Like, you know, you're not yourself.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's with vaccinations. Just to get back on topic, it's a weird world we live in with a lot of that stuff. It's the same situation they had with polio and all those other vaccinations that we've. The flu and all those other ones that we have to get vaccinated for. And it's plenty of people who don't believe in that too. So,
yeah.
But at the same time, they got to live in the world that everybody who gets vaccinated has to live in. And if you don't want to get that vaccination, cool. The government ain't telling you have to get it. It's just.
Yeah, they are.
Well,
there's a government mandate. No, there's a government mandate that all government employees have to get vaccinated no matter what. And then there's the other thing that if you work at a company that has 100 employees or more, they also have to get vaccinated, or they have to get tested for COVID every week. That means they get it. I mean, is it every week or every day? I don't know. They got to get that fucking Q-tip up their nose every damn week. You know what I mean? It's like to go against it. So it's not.
When I mean telling you to get it, they're not forcing people to get it. It's one of those things.
They ain't holding you down and shooting you with the shit.
Yeah, it could get a whole lot worse, but those people still have a choice. If you want to keep your job at said company, if you want to still work for the government, it's like, hey, you have to follow their rules.
It's a choice.
If you don't believe in that, then you can find another job or work for a different company.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's a choice, but do you really have a choice at that point? Like if you've been working somewhere for 29 years and you can retire with full pension and shit like that,
you always have a choice.
3 months to make a decision. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah. You mean you always have that choice, and then that's what I was saying earlier. It's you cannot get vaccinated, but you have to live with the consequences and repercussions of that decision, and whatever that may be, whether that's putting your kid in public school or your job asking you to get vaccinated, you have to weigh those options. And if you don't agree with none of that stuff, then you have to find something that works for you.
Yeah. Well, I gotta tell you, I, for one, had COVID. I do not want to catch that shit again. Shit was horrible. Thought I was going to die. Said my piece, all that stuff, you know, like I knew that I was on death's door. It's like, nah, I ain't going to no hospital. Rather die at home. Made it through. And then when the vaccine came out and stuff like that, it's just like, I still was like, I don't really want it. You know what I mean? Like just the idea that I was talking about something. You almost died, bro.
It came out too quick. I ain't trusted either. Like you had it. I remember doing videos with you and you getting on camera with you had the towel wrapped around you and shit, being sick as shit. My sister had it before the world even knew what it was. She got it like February of last year, before the world found out what it was, and everybody started to get that shit. So it's like I know the shit's out there killing people. It's like I don't want to be one of them, you know. And it's like I want to make sure that I don't do that. But at the same time, I don't trust the government either. Yeah, they probably put some shit in that shot, but it's like that's why I waited. I was like, I'll wait until like a couple million people get it, and then see what happens to those couple million people, and then I got mine, you know. But
the first thing I thought of was Tuskegee. That is literally the first thing I thought of, and then after that, same thing. I just like waited around and looked, just waited, and then hearing misinformation and stuff like that, I was starting to think about, well, they're not even talking about like the people that got it and then died shortly afterwards. It's like, well, they're not even blaming the vaccine. They're blaming other causes and stuff like that. They won't give that information out because then at that point it's like, oh, hell no. And that's understandable, to a certain degree, because if the benefits outweigh they say the benefits outweigh the negatives or whatever.
Yeah.
The side effects, but side effects could be death. But if you look at the majority and the minority, it's one of those, okay, a few million
this
people
number's
saved,
bigger than this one.
Yeah. Versus
benefits that outweighs it. So
yeah. So I mean, when it comes to that, it's one of those, I don't want to be a part of that minority, that goes. But again, having the shit, it's one of those, pick one. Which one gives you the greater chance of survival?
Yep.
And right now, at least for me, this one has the greatest chance of survival. And I'm not gonna lie, man. When I chose to go, one of the other reasons is that you can't work on a set if you're not fully vaccinated. Right now, like a lot of people are like, nah, we just can't do it. So
yeah, I remember watching what's the guy who does Arrow? He was on the other Lex Luthor's podcast. I forget what. But he talks about all the restrictions and stuff that they had to go through when filming like Green Arrow and all those CW shows, and how if one person gets COVID on the set or on the set, they shut down everything, and for like 2 weeks or something like that.
Man, that's fucking crazy. So I was like, all right, you know what? Let me just go ahead and get one. Then I started researching which one is the best one, and I looked at the Johnson & Johnson. That is not like a high success. Well, it's a high success rate of like protection, but it's not like as much as the other two. And then it's the whole thing about blood clots. I was like, blood clots? What the fuck? You know what I mean? So it can cause blood clots. I have a family history of blood clot issues. I don't want to fucking make that worse. So fuck that. Now look at the other two. Moderna was like the one with the highest success rate. The highest protection out of even Pfizer. So I was like, okay, cool. Looked around for Moderna. I went to a Walgreens up there, and I waited for them to come back from lunch and everything. Got up there, I was like, hey, I'm here for the shot, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, well, we can't give it to you. She said, do you have an appointment? I'm like, no. Well, you got to have an appointment. Fuck, why? Like that, it made me so mad because it's like, you know how much the fucking government is like, go get your shot. And I'm like, I'm trying to get my shot right now. You won't give it to me because I need a fucking appointment. And I look around, I'm like, there's like 3 motherfuckers here. I can't just wait till they get their pills and then you just give me the shot. Like, no, you gotta go do it online. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, they gotta keep track of everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So I go back, I do it online. I'm setting everything up. And it's like first name, last name, blah, 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 address. And then it's like, what race are you? And I was like, what the fuck? White.
So, Mr. Demon, you can step right on up here. And,
you know what I'm saying? Like I was like, there's no fucking way. Like, when I show up, they're like, oh, you. Even the guy, when I finally did it, and he was giving me my shot, even he was like the pharmacist, he was like, man, so what made you get it? And I'm like, well, I got to, work, blah, blah, and plus I had COVID before I almost died, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, I waited, and just to see, he was like, man, I feel that, I waited too, and he was like, man, but then all these people start dropping like flies, and then he talked about how he didn't see he didn't see white people getting the shot, But we're in the hood. Of course you're not. I said, yeah, of course not. You see black people. This is like a black and Mexican neighborhood. You won't really see white people get the shot. They getting a shot at the good places. And I told him about what I did during the process. And he started laughing. I was like, yeah, man, just in case they come out. And he's like, oh, nah, man, you already got it out. Bring it here. just in case they try to go to the other refrigerator for my shot. No. You give me that good shit. So, yeah, I mean, like, it's still a scary thing, like, scary moment, but, like, you know, it was okay. It was decent. You know, and then afterwards, the whole issue with side effects with it, that is a thing. I know the side effects they were talking about, like nausea, headache, stuff like that, or not nausea, like almost flu-like symptoms. But
I ain't get none of that with mom.
Yeah, so they say it's usually worse for the second shot, not the first shot. But if you already had COVID before, the first shot is gonna feel like the second shot. And shit you not, it was like it felt it didn't feel bad. I felt sick, like a little nauseous. But what was the bad part was like all the soreness, like the pain on my arm, pain in my back, like places felt inflamed and hurt for a good minute. But my breathing issues, like since I had COVID, I had like really bad breathing issues. Well, not really bad, but like after I survived it, my breathing really.
Yeah, I read up a lot of I read a lot of things that people who had COVID, let's say you got it and you got over it, but you still get a lot of those issues. And things. It's still ongoing issues because you had
that shit cleared up. Man. That shit fucking cleared up, and I wasn't looking forward to because I didn't look at all that stuff. I had just when I took it, like I want to say 2 or 3 days later, I was able to inhale really deep without coughing, and I didn't feel pain or anything. It was just like, fuck, man. It's like my breathing is back. Unfortunately, my sense of smell is still not,
100%,
back. 100%. But like the breathing, I was like, fuck it, thank you. It's like it feels really good to take a deep breath. But I'm still really debating on whether I want to take the second shot or not, because both shots are the exact same shot. There's no difference. It's like, well, if I already had COVID, I already got antibodies, and this shot was just a booster to keep that going, but they still want you to take, both of them. And I'm like, I don't want to. That whole idea of like taking 2 shots and then going back to take a booster, like that's 3 doses of this shit that you're trying to. No, man, I don't really want to do that. Especially if I feel like I'm already protected enough to where I don't have to be hospitalized. I just don't want a bunch of fucking COVID shots. Like, I don't want them coming back and be like, well, you need another fucking booster. It's like, no, man, no.
Yeah.
I'd rather wear a mask and just not fucking meet people. I'm okay with that. I'm totally fine with giving people their space. Stay the fuck over there. Like, I'm good. I don't need this.
Yeah, I think when I got my shot, it was didn't have. I think I got the Pfizer one. I had to go back for 2 shots. Didn't really have any side effects, none at all. I think soreness around the spot where they injected me on my arm, but that lasted for like a couple days. But that was about it. Didn't get nothing else.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I don't know. That's because just me. Like I said, I have a decent. My body chemistry is decent. Like I'm overweight and I'm fat and shit. But when it comes to like, like I can't eat this food because it makes me sick or that kind of weird shit, my body just don't have that. Like I can change up my diet and be fine. Like it's not,
How you gonna be a fat, healthy nigga? That don't make no sense.
That's the thing. Is like I'm not super healthy. Like I'm not. I would consider myself not healthy, but it's something my body does. Like I don't have a quirky immune system or, things where it's like if I work out or let's say like how some people could change their diet and that completely makes them nauseous, they get headaches or their body has to like get used to the new diet. Like the only thing that affects me is like it might make me go to the bathroom more or less, or like my cravings for what I used to eat might kick in more or less. That's about it.
That's those bleach face washes that you be doing and shit. Like, you don't give germs time enough to enter your body. Like, get the fuck off of me.
God, whatever works.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's like, all the Similac that our generation had when they were babies or something, but I don't know.
Wow. Yeah, that's what it is. Fucking powdered milk, powdered.
I don't know.
Powdered cow teat. I'm good.
I don't know. I mean, everybody's all big and husky now, so
it is true.
A lot of people blame that on that. So
yeah, that's the fucking hormones they putting in your chicken and your beef.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But yeah, she was definitely right about that. Like, you can't trust a lot of that stuff, and I wish everybody did put the only good stuff in their babies when they feed them and stuff. But I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't see anything wrong with it. Like, it was a perfectly good conversation, perfectly good opinion. That was her opinion. She stands by it, and I support her standing by her opinion. That's it.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm saying I support what she said. I support her standing by her opinion. Do that.
Yeah, I support the fact that she has the right to make her own decision on that. I mean,
exactly.
Anti-vaxxing and vaxxing it's an opinion, really. So, I mean, I don't have no way to think about it whatsoever. Yeah. I mean, if, I say just be safe. Well, whatever you choose to do, don't make an informed, dumb decision. But be safe at what you're doing. And I think this is just somebody just trying to stir up controversy and fake news because they just trying to hop on the whole anti-vaccinating bandwagon to get views or whatever, and they just pulling anything out the ass.
Well, yeah, I don't really know about the guy that we just watched, and I'll put a link to his video down below. So I don't know his sentiment over it. It is the only.
Yeah, he didn't seem like he was doing that. He just seemed like
we
he was
didn't watch the
talking
whole
about
video either. So
that's true.
Like, we don't know his opinion, but that's the reason why I wanted to leave, because I don't want to know his opinion. His opinion is his opinion, and if you believe that, you can see that in the description. Yeah. So
you didn't want his opinion to inform our decision because we're watching his specific video. I get you.
Yeah, or make me biased against him as a creator. So
yeah, it is what it is.
What do y'all think in the comments below?
YouTube got a YouTube, and people got a people. So
exactly. What do y'all think about it in the comments below? Are you vaxxed? Are you not vaxxed? Do you care about it? Do you not care about it? Let us know. Have that conversation. Oh, and also, do you think cancel culture has gone too far? And also, do you think that do you think cancel culture will ever die down anytime soon, or will it just get worse? I would like to really know that.
All right. And,
until then, stay safe out there.
Later, YouTube.